पश्यत्यादेश तारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद किवा जय जय गौरा चंदे आरतिक शोभा किवा जय जय गौरा चंदे आरतिक शोभा जय जय गौरा चंदे जानवी तटवाने जगमन लोभा किवा दक्षिणनिताय चाँद बामे गदधारा नीकते अद्वैताशिनी बस छत्रधारा बसियाছে गौरा चाँद रत्न सिंहासने किवा बसियाছে गौरा चाँद रत्न सिंहासने याचे गौरा चाँद आरती करेना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने आरती करेना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने नरहरि आदि कोरी चामर दुलाय संजय मुकुंद बासु घोषय विगाय शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल किंवा शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल मधुर मृदंग बाजे पदम रसाल मधुर मृदंग बाजे पदम रसाल शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे 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 बहु कोटि चंद्र जिनी बदन उज्ज्वला गाला देशे बनमाला करे झलमाला शिव सुख नारद प्रेम भक्ति विनोदा देखे गौरार संपारा भक्ति विनोदा देखे गौरार संपारा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Swami Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Swami Jaya Jagannath जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भव तुमे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भव तुमे जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ प्रभु जगन्नाथ बलदेव जय सुभद्रमय जय राधा माधव राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय निताय गौर सुंदर जय निताय गौर सुंदर जय निताय गौर सुंदर जय निताय गौर सुंदर निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव गौशीतनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल
नित्यलीला प्रविष्टा ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसा प्रविचार्य शिष्य डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति विदान स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडराचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय नित्यलीला प्रविष्टा ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसा परिव्याचार्य श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय गौरव किशोर बाबाजी महाराज की जय जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय सच्चिदानंद भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर की जय नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय हरि षट गोस्वामी की जय प्रेम से करो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की गंगा माई यमुनामाई की भक्ति देव तुलसी महारानी की अयोध्यापुरी धाम मायापुर धाम वृंदावन धाम रामेश्वर धाम जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की the most beautiful Sri Nitai Gaur Sundar ki Giri Govardhan ki the magnanimous Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki and most beautiful Shri Radha Madhav ki all Guru assembled devotees all Guru assembled devotees all Guru assembled devotees all Guru Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Praladanadaine. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Shilatankanadayane. Ito Nashima Bharato Nashima. Yato yato yamitato Nashima. Ubaye Nashima Hridaye Nashima. Nashima Madim Saranam Prapade. Matavakana Kamala Bare Naga Madhuta Shringaya. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tadavinda Keshavadita Nararirupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Keshavadita Nararirupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Isha Hare. Oh Jaya Nashimade, Jaya Nashimade. Nashingade, Jaya Nashingade. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nrsingadev Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome everyone to this wonderful temple of Lord Nitai Gaur Sundar, Giri Govardhan, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai, and the most beautiful Shri Radha Madhav. Thank you all for coming. First of all, I'd like to thank you to Pujaris for dressing deities so beautifully. Like a loud Haribol for them. Our dear devotee, of course, Pancha Prabhu is going to be cooking this wonderful feast today. And as always, he does such a wonderful job. We can have a loud Haribol for him, please. We have 3 sponsors today, so pray to the Lord to bless them. First is our dearest Sundaran Prabhu. He sponsored for his father, Sri Koteshwar Rao Kari's 7th death anniversary. So we can face the deities and chant Hare Krishna 3 times for the departed soul. Of course, we know he's such a stalwart Vaishnava, top-class devotee. So devotees like these, they always get blessing anyway. And their Prabhupada said that anybody who's a Vaishnava, their parents, family, dependent, they all go to Golak Vrindavan. So please come, Prabhuji. Take some, and then we can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can we have blessings? Some prasad, Prabhuji. Haribol. The next one, I'd like to thank you. This is a very wonderful Vaishnava family. We have known them for a few years. Nayan Bhumik Prabhu and the family. They're sponsoring for Vaishnava's blessings. We pray to Radha Madhav to bless them. The way their path is taken for Krishna consciousness, they're going so wonderfully, moving forward, their family, everybody else there. We pray that they can get a lot of spiritual happiness, and of course material happiness will come together with that. Please bless them, my Lord. Loud Haribol for them, please. Please, Prabhuji. You can bring your family also. Thank you, Prabhuji. Let me. Will there more blessings? Thank you so much, Prabhu, Mataji. So appreciate it. So nice when, I remember that several years back, they came there and now they're like integral part of a temple, chanting, serving so wonderfully. Both husband and they're so humble and the kids are in Sunday school, so nice to see that. So, and I think that's it. So also there's an anonymous sponsorship, so you can just pray to Radha Madhav Haribol for them and then we can start. Haribol. So now, I'd like to welcome today's speaker, very wonderful devotee, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu. We all know him very well. Many know them as Father of Aradhya, our wonderful singer. Prabhu, it's just amazing that I got to know Prabhu in like several years back. But what a wonderful, this family is itself. Such immaculate, like following the Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj footsteps, so humble. He's so well read. Many people don't know that he's a intensive care, intensivist actually. And he works intensive shifts dealing with all different things. But during that time between also he get a time to study also. He's a very big reader. He's amazing. He runs a very nice Bhakti Vriksha along with Harinam Prabhuji. And so many new people are Hare Krishna, Haribol. Mataji, can we have talking outside, please? Haribol. Hare Krishna. Haribol. Talking should be outside. This is temple room, please. Haribol. Yeah, so wonderful that, Krishna is bringing such nice, these Vaishnava families here, and our temple is growing bigger and bigger. We see so many new faces there, because when Jagannath is happy, everything has become happy for that one. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for being here. Yatin Prabhu, you have an announcement for Prabhu. One sec, we'll just forgot something. And Shyam Prabhu, please come. And then I think we have a book distribution announcement also. We have Gita Marathon going on really well. Then after we can.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened. We missed our spot. So I'll let Yatin Prabhu speak first, and then I will speak.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we're close to probably a week away from our closing. December 2nd or 3rd for our closing for our Goshala project. So Hare Krishna, Haribol. So we've come a long way. We're almost there. We're about $60,000 short. So, we ask everyone humbly, if you haven't contributed to our project yet, please, try your best to step forward. This is the time. We're in our home stretch, and we're very excited. We've come a long way. This is a $1.225 million project. So we were able to fundraise with the support of all of you and outside devotees to contribute towards this project. And so we're really very, very close. So we humbly encourage you to step forward if you haven't, or spread the word to your friend or family member. You'll see a poster as you walk in of our Goshala. There's a QR code. There's different ways where you can sponsor or help sponsor through either a monthly program or a donation or a loan type of a support. So, we're almost like a broken record. We'll come here every week as much as we can. And of course, we're also trying to raise Lakshmi. So once we do acquire the property, there are some, expenses that will come to renovate the home and the barn and so forth. So, that of course will be separate as well. So we're trying our best to first minimize the loan if we can, and then continue to move forward with our fundraising. Okay, Hare Krishna.
So few things, there have been so many questions asked regarding the project. So if you don't have money right now to give like right away, you can also do like a monthly pledge. We have monthly pledge forms there in the lobby. Also on the website, you can go bhakticofarm.org. You can do a monthly pledge. You can give that way. If you cannot donate, and if you want to lend us some money for short term, instead of taking it from the bank and paying interest to the bank, we can take it from you. You can help that way, and I see so many familiar faces here who have already helped. So let's hear one time for all those devotees who have already helped and who will be helping us in the future. Haribol! Also, on a side note, you must have seen a panicking message coming from my side. Last Monday, I had posted on our group that, we went to New Vrindavan Temple for an event, and our car met with an accident over there. So it was something that we had not expected. There was a tire on the road. Luckily, by mercy of our deities and blessing of all the devotees, no devotees were hurt. And we are all fit and fine. Nobody has to worry. We are okay. Since this is a year end, I had put appeal there also, and I would appeal here again also. If anybody has a reliable vehicle, they would like to help the temple with that vehicle, you're most welcome to contact me or Adhokshesh Prabhu. Just let us know. Other than that, there has been no issue. It was an accident where the car got totaled, but all the devotees are safe. So just wanted to clear that. No rumor spreading here and there that devotees got hurt or this or that. So by Krishna's grace, everybody is saved. And anything you...
So of course we need a vehicle because we need the temple devotees to come to the Goshala to help get it running. So again, whoever can come forward, if anyone knows anyone or there's a vehicle that they can lend the temple devotees, at least it keeps our momentum going for many of the projects that the temple devotees are participating in. So, yes, we need them all healthy and with a nice vehicle so we can they can come to the farm and continue to serve. Hare Krishna.
Yes, and I want to especially thank our advisory committee chairman, Yatin Prabhu. He's been, diligently approaching everyone. And again, I know this is redundant, but like I promised before, when we reach our goal, I'll stop announcing about that. But till then, please bear with us and help us out in whatever way you can. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
And now I think one more announcement by His Grace Premdam Prabhu. Gita Marathon is there. We're doing Gita all around the corner, all over the world. Prabhu will shed on there. It's going really wonderful. So please come, Prabhuji. They're doing such a great job.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So as you all know, if you don't know, Gita Marathon is a time of the year when we distribute Bhagavad Gitas. We take an extra effort to go out and distribute Bhagavad Gitas. This year our goal is 20,000 Bhagavad Gitas. We are roughly around 40% of that goal. We still have another month to go. The marathon goes on till early January, first week of January. Yeah, so with that goal in mind, as I recently heard His Holiness Radha Maharaj say that without sacrifice, love has no meaning. So devotees have been, for love of Prabhupada, taking that extra effort, not being disturbed by the weather or any other things. They have been going out regularly and distributing books. So if you want to be a part of this marathon, please, you can see us at the table outside. We have devotees out there who you can help in sponsoring. We distribute these books to hospitals and prisons. Or you can take a case for yourself, keep it at home, give it to anybody you like, distribute it to your friends and family members. So yes, either way you would like, please help us. So we have a table outside. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Can we can loud Hari Bol for this Gita Marathon is so important, Shastra Dan. It's amazing that if you go outside like Gideon Bibles, they distribute millions and millions, and people are so enthusiastic because they want to spread love of God. Bible is no different, it's all spreading love of God. So why is Gita should be behind? So whenever somebody is doing the effort, it's a big achievement, big sacrifice for Prabhupada itself. Prabhupada came at the age of 65 and went around in the uninhabitable places and distribute that, and these devotees are going also. So we should always encourage them so that we can keep doing this Gita Marathon. So thank you so much. Loud Haribol for them, please. And without taking too much time, I think we always love to hear from Prabhuji. So it's so good that after some gap, it's very difficult to catch Prabhu because he's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. When he's on, I'm off. When he's on, somebody else. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming here.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much, Neelmadha Prabhu, for giving me this opportunity and wishing you a very happy Krishna conscious birthday. Can you have a loud Hari Bol 3 times for Neelmadha Prabhu? Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. I'll start by singing a bhajan, so please follow along with me. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana. वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So before I start, I'd like to take blessings from all the senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Please bless me so I can accurately represent our Guru Parampara, and all the words that come out are truly representative of our illustrated Parampara and our Acharyas. I'll start by offering my prayers. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadatim Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvan Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha Pasindubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namah Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam panghum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurudin Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Thank you, Prabhu. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, the topic for this evening is going to be Principles of Grihastha Ashram. The reason I chose this topic as inspired by Nilmadhav Prabhu, I think one question that often people ask me a lot is, how can you be a physician and still be able to do so much in bhakti, and still be able to participate so much, give so much time? And one of the reasons, what I wanted to share with everybody was, it's very simple. Once we come into bhakti, we learn from our seniors, we learn from our mentors, and over a period of time, I've learned so many jewels of how you can manage your time, and what are the important aspects that we can follow so that we can advance, even though we are living a household life with a job, with kids, with all the headaches that come with managing, our day-to-day activities, how we can still, advance in bhakti. So this is the background of this topic. So for some of the things I'm going to cover today is talk about who is a grihastha. What does the grihastha ashram mean? And then we could look at 5 S principles of grihastha ashram, starting with S for Sangha, S for Shravanam, S for Sadhana, S for sweet relationships, and S for Seva. Okay. So now we know in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Chaturvarnam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha. So everybody must have heard in some context or the other about the Varna Ashram system. This is a 2-pronged system that talks about having a structure in society. So any company, any organization you see in this world works according to a certain hierarchy and certain structure, so that there is proper workflow, because there is a certain goal to be achieved. So Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the goal of life is for everybody to achieve God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. So in order to facilitate that, Lord Krishna also created a system in society that we can have people of different inclinations working together to achieve the same goal for everybody. So nobody is left out in this kind of system. Unfortunately, over a period of time, this has been degraded and has been given lots of different names, but that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Varnashram system called the Daivi Varnashram system, as mentioned by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So there are 4 Varnas or occupational duties, and anybody knows them? Yep. And then there are 4 stages of life. So 4 other occupational classes, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and 4 other stages of life. So the stages of life is something that everybody has to go through. Everybody takes birth as a child. Right? None of us are Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we come born with mukuta and shining helmet, right? We all come crying in this world, and we go making others cry. So 4 stages of life we come as brahmacharya. Second is we call grihastha. So grihastha is an ashram where we come together with a partner to start a family life, and in order to achieve Krishna consciousness, in order to do different acts that we're going to discuss today and facilitate everybody's upliftment in spiritual consciousness. The 3rd stage is vanaprastha, and the last stage of life where one should be fully focused on spirituality, that is the stage of sannyas. So most people in this audience that I see and people I've met are either in the grihastha ashram, or they're about to enter the grihastha ashram as young students, or they may have had just moved into vanaprastha. So there's a lot that we can learn from, and it seems it's relevant to this. But there is something to understand, that not everybody who lives in a home with family is part of the grihastha ashram. So there is something called grihastha and grihamedi. Okay. Does anybody know what this picture on the screen is? Haribo, it's right. So it's a silkworm. So it's where the silkworm develops a cocoon made of silk, and that's where the silk that we see in a lot of clothes comes from. Okay. So this picture is very relevant. One of very senior Vaishnavas, he helped me understand this, that most pious people, and I'm going to assume that you've come to temple on a Sunday evening and you're not out anywhere else, that you're pious souls, that we have this concept of understanding and appreciation for our scriptures. We understand what's written, we understand that that's good, being good, doing the good thing, being honest is the other right things. So we all follow what's called basic principles of dharma. And then as part of that, we go on, we do our business, our occupation, and we earn some money in order to continue our daily living, and that is the artha. And once we earn artha, we all have our needs, our wants. So we've tried to fulfill that, our desires with the money that we've accumulated through artha. But the problem is most people stop at this point. So we know what's good, we work hard for it, we use our in earnings and income to achieve something good, but then we don't think about the last part that's mentioned in the Shastra, and that is moksha. And that is where we understand the example of the silkworm. So the silkworm, through its life cycle, it develops, when it goes into hibernation, it develops this cocoon, and it spins a very nice silken web around it. The cocoon is what made of, right? But while spinning it, it forgets to leave a hole, for an exit point for it. So that's a good analogy for ourselves, that while we are living in this material world and we are trying to achieve so many things, we all know that at some point we have to have an exit strategy, right? There is a time that's going to come where we'll be forced to leave this material body. What are we going to do then? What is our answer going to be? What did we do in our life? But we never think about that exit point. So when we don't think about it, we get trapped. Just like the silkworm gets trapped in this luxury cocoon, we get trapped in our dharma, artha, and kama. And that is what a grihamedhi is. But a grihastha is a person who has a job, has a family, stays in a house, but he is always thinking about the higher concept, about simple living, but high thinking. Who am I? What am I doing here? How can I really help society? And that is where he focuses on moksha. So that is the difference between grihastha and grihamedhi. There's an elaborate table that also talks about the differences. So the primary focus of a grihastha is spiritual advancement, however, within household duties. He's doing everything that one needs to do to maintain his family. Whereas a grihamedhi is only engaged in sense gratification and material comforts for family. He has no desire to understand spirituality or go deep into it. Similarly, the goal for a grihastha is spiritual growth, and the goal for a grihamedhi is how to expand his portfolio. Okay. Similarly, the life center is towards a higher God-centered purpose, and for grihamedhi is 5, family and dependence. One devotee had given a very practical example that if in your center of the house there is God and like temple, that's a grihastha. But if the center of your house there is a TV or movie theater, then that is a grihamedhi. So let's start. So the same question about what we can do, if we are staying, how many people would like to know the answer to this question? We all come to the temple, we all, see pujaris here, but we feel we can't be like them because I still have a job, I still have to take care of my family, I still have so many things I want to do, so many needs and wants. But at the same time, I still want to evolve, I still want to grow, I still want to know who this beautiful personality is and how can I come so close to them without leaving my house. So how can I do that? This question, Yudhishthir Maharaj, the eldest Pandava, asks to Narad Muni in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 14, text 1. Please repeat after me. Shri Yudhishthir Uvacha Grihastha etam padavim Vidhina yena chanjasa Yaya deva rishe bruhi Madrisho griha mudadhi. Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired from Narad Muni, O my lord, O great sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instruction of the Vedas. And Shri Narad Muni replies, please repeat. Shri Narad Uvacha Griheshva avasthito rajan Kriya kurvan yathochita Vasudevarpanam sakshad Upasita mahamuni So Narad Muni replied, "My dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood, and instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer these results to Krishna or Vasudev." How to satisfy Vasudev in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. So the first S that we can follow in our Grihastha life, if we want to achieve that goal, is called Sangha. Sangha means association. So the beginning of this process of bhakti takes place when one develops faith in the heart. So somewhere you may have heard, you may have read, you may have seen somebody who looks very happy, looks very peaceful, and you want to see, oh, maybe I should be like that person. And you start developing some faith on Shraddha. After that, the next thing, when you develop Shraddha in your heart, the Lord Himself guides you or sends a devotee to you to give you association or Sangha. Now, what is the power of association? I think we all very well know that in this material world, whatever you associate with, you'll be like that. There's a saying in English, show me your friends and I can tell you about the person. Srila Prabhupada used to say, if you stay with drunkards, you will become a drunkard. And if you stay with great devotees, you will become a great devotee. So that is the power of association. And there are there are numerous examples in our scriptures how simply by the association, even a moment of association with a pure devotee was enough to improve a particular personality. And we should be eager to seek this association. So on my right, you see a wonderful picture that oftentimes you'll see out in the sky. Right? You see this pattern, a V-shaped pattern that birds take to fly in the air. Does anybody know why they all fly in this? Is it their company logo or why do they fly in this pattern? No, it's not for seeing. So it's to do with aerodynamics. So when you fly in that pattern, and nobody's taught them, right? We never saw any bird go inside Harvard University, right? They may be outside, but they haven't attended any classes. But by nature, they understand that the power of unity, the power of Sangha. So when they are flying in this particular pattern, the flow of air that is coming lifts everybody up together. So although, and that is what's important in this example, this analogy is very wonderful, because when you're staying in that association, it is easier for you to reach that goal. And wherever the goal may be, they may be flying towards a warmer region. But they still have to flap their wings. Individually, they still have to do what takes from them. But collectively, it becomes much easier if they are together flying in that direction. So that is why anybody who's a householder, who's occupied in their daily chores and busy with their daily lives, if you could spare a couple hours a week, come together for one of our gatherings for Bhakti Vriksha, or come together to this program, even on Sundays, it's a powerful thing to uplift your consciousness, and you can all join us, and together we can all fly in this formation and go back home, back to Godhead. Okay. So the thing that is most important for Sangha is we should be really, really eager for this association. But whenever I talk to people about this, that's the big question that comes to people. I agree with you. What you're doing is very right, but I don't have time. We don't have time. We have so many chores as a householder. Weekends are busy doing grocery and laundry, and weekdays are busy running around doing kids' classes. All our kids are enrolled in 4 or 5 different classes. They're doing so many extracurricular activities. So where is the time? And the answer to that is very simple. The answer becomes simple when we understand, when we change our perspective. And the perspective is this material world that we stay in is not a place fit for a gentleman. Okay? This material world is called Dukh Alayam Ashashvatam. Dukh Alayam means that which is the abode of miseries. You may have heard this word in Hindi, those are familiar with Aushadalaya, Pustakalaya. So Dukh Alaya means the abode of miseries. A devotee had given a very nice example. The material world is like a toilet. When we go into a toilet, we go because we want to get rid of our impurities, but we don't want to stay there forever. Right? I mean, people make fancy toilets nowadays, and they sit there and they have television, right? But this material world is not a place where we want to get accustomed to or used to. So this material world, we have to understand is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Because when we understand that there's so many problems in this material world, we automatically will want to find a way out. Suppose there is a fire and the fire alarms go off in this building right now. Do you think you will need a presentation from me like this to explain to you that you should run and save your life? No, right? It's very, very evident. Fire is there. Get out as soon as possible, right? The problem is we don't see this fire in this material world. There are 4 kinds of miseries that are there in this material world. They are birth, death, old age, and disease. Whether you like it, you don't like it, you choose it or don't choose it, it's going to come to you. And it's going to come to you at a time when you may least expect it. Okay? Unfortunately, as part of my job, I see this as a reality. For a lot of people, it's a concept. For me, it's an everyday reality. That people in their teens, people in their 20s, all of a sudden have to exit from this world without a choice, without a second to say goodbye. And that is this material world. So there is no point in saying, how things going? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You know, like we may have so much, we may be drowning in misery, but our response is everything is fine. It's better to be honest with ourselves and be truthful and say, I'm struggling. And that also is a very, very important thing. One devotee had shared with me that one very senior godbrother of mine, he approached my Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj asked him that, so how are you doing? And that devotee said, Gurudev, I'm struggling in this world, I'm struggling. And my Gurudev was so happy to hear that. He said, he hugged him and he said, thank you, Prabhu, for struggling in this world. Please continue to struggle so that one day we may get away from here. You know, that is the mentality that we should understand, that something is wrong and how we can improve our lives. Does everybody accept that there is misery in this world? Yeah? Are there more holidays or are there more working days? Right? More weekdays and less weekend. I know we're trying to get into a 4:3 and almost 3:4 weekend to work day ratio, but still nobody is happy with that. Right? So there is more misery in this material world, and that is the first thing we understand. The second thing we should understand, that ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is bliss maybe for a little bit of time, but the hard reality comes to strike us whether we want it or not, sooner than later. And animals are in a trap, when they're in a trap, they're struggling to get out. I don't know if you've ever watched any sort of documentaries where they catch an animal or have any personal experience with it. But when somebody's in a trap, they're struggling to get out of it. Okay? But oftentimes, when you talk to people, they'll casually tell you, if I ask them, hey, Prabhu, would you like to come for the program? People will say, oh, you see, I'm a material man. I'm tied up in so many material responsibilities. I wish I could come, but I'm trapped in this material trap that is there. If somebody is really trapped in a material condition and you realize that, you'll be struggling, moving your hands and legs to somehow get out of it. But are we really doing that? No. It's possible that we're not able to get out of it. We've tried a couple times and failed, and we're like, chodo yahin pe theek hai. Where are we? Theek hai. But what we should understand is if we can't get out of the trap, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj says, you take the trap with you and go to a sadhu. And tell the sadhu, you cut my trap. You know, I can't get out of this trap, but I'm still struggling. Where there is a will, there is a way. And if you can't find a way, Krishna will make one. But just have the will. So there's a story of a gentleman called Kailash. This is a very interesting story. So Kailash was a material devotee, a grihastha, like most of us. And he had special mercy of a Vaishnav, Shri Narad Muni. Narad Muni used to come and preach to him. And he used to tell him that, Kailash, come on, now you've come into your Vanaprasth age, in your 70s, 80s now. Let's give up these things and get into a spiritual consciousness. Don't need to get involved in the home business anymore. And Kailash was like, no. I have this farm. My kids, they've become older now, but still they haven't become fully responsible yet. Once they become fully responsible, I promise Narad Muni, I'll come with you. I agree, what you're doing is right, but this is not the right time. Right? So next time Narad Muni comes after a few years, and he knocks on the door, asks for Kailash. They said, oh, Kailash to gone. He's left this body and gone. Narad Muni says, what? Oh my goodness, I was going to give him this opportunity to leave this body and go back home, back to Godhead. But what to do? As he was leaving the house, a dog started barking at Narad Muni. Narad Muni paid attention, and he soon realized that dog is Kailash. And Narad Muni said, hey Kailash, what happened to you? How you became a dog in front of your own house? So Kailash said, Narad Muni, I was so attached that I was so concerned nobody will take care of my farm and my business. So with that consciousness, to protect everything, I got the body of a dog. Narad Muni said, at least you know, and you can talk to me and I can talk to you. Right? Normally we've never seen dogs get together and have Srimad Bhagavad Katha like this. But he said, okay, chalo, now you come with me. Now you understand, you sit, I'll teach you. Dog's body only will go back home, back to Godhead. Now, Kailash said, no, Narad Muni, these kids, they are very useless. The robbers come, thieves come at night, they're just sleeping. They don't pay any attention. So I have to little bit more time. Once they become more responsible, then I'll come. Narad Muni said, what can I say more? No. Okay, I'll give you some more time. He comes back again after a few years. He asks the homeowners, where is the dog? They said, which dog? That dog, we beat him and he died. And then Narad Muni said, oh alas, second chance also lost. Gone. Then he was walking through the field. And then there was a snake hissing. He said, what? He paid attention. He said, Kailash? He said, yeah, Narad Muni. I became snake now. And then Narad Muni said, what? How this happened? He said, again, the rats were coming and all the animals were coming and nobody was taking care of the property. So then with that consciousness, I died and now I became a snake. So Narad Muni said, okay, now final. No more excuses. We can still understand each other. Come with me. Come back home, back to Godhead. Snake again said, Narad Muni, little bit more time. Narad Muni realized this person is not going to understand like this. Loudly he started shouting, snake is there in the farm, snake is there. All his grandsons came with sticks. So where is the snake? Where is the snake? He said, there is the snake. And he started beating the snake. Their own ancestor, grandfather. So finally Kailash said, Narad Muni, you save me, I'll come with you right away. Then Narad Muni said, okay, you leave him, I'll take care of it. And then finally. So what is the story? What do we understand from story of Kailash? Is we will always have plans. We will always have a reason not to come to the temple. We will always have a reason to put it off. But just like Kailash did not know when his time is going to come, we also do not know. So even though we are grihastas, even though we are involved in our day-to-day chores, our responsibilities, while taking care of those responsibilities, it is very important that we take care of this prime responsibility and not give up this chance to understand and grow in Krishna consciousness. So Kabir Das ji had said, Dukh mein sumran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koe, sukh mein sumran jo kare to dukh kahe ko hoye. That everybody thinks of God or rushes to God when they are in misery. But when there is time of goodness, very few people express gratitude to God. Right? But if one in the time of goodness, when things are going okay, can express gratitude to the Lord, then there's no misery that's going to come in his life that he cannot deal with. Miseries will come, but you will not feel the blow as much as you would feel without God. Okay? So we have to understand that we are busy in a material world, but people with higher intelligence, we should understand the problems of this world cannot be permanently solved. We cannot always have the perfect plan. We are always going for the perfect thing. I want to get the perfect new car for me. I want to get the perfect job. There are problems in this material world. And I can tell you, I've switched because of visa status and moving jobs. I've had to change a few different jobs. And I can tell you, each job, what I've realized, my personal experience, people look for what is the good in the new job, right? What advantages are there, what benefits I'm going to get. I've come with the perspective that we should look at what are the problems in the new job. Like, because each job has its own problems. We always feel the grass is greener on the other side. But the truth is that other side also has problems. You have to decide you want to deal with problem set A or you want to deal with problem set B. Where are you going to be happy? Because this is material world. Srila Prabhupada used to say this material world is like a war zone. Can you ever have a birthday party in an active war zone? There is no peace in a war zone. You may have 2 minutes where the bombs are not dropping to take a breath or something, but then soon after that another missile is going to come. So that's why we have to be very aware and cautious. So we are trying to look for something which is not there in this material world. Suppose if I go to Neeraj Prabhu's home and I forget my key over there, and then I come home back to my house and I'm looking for the key, and I'm looking up and down and I can't find the key. You think I'll find the key in my house? No, because it's not there. What I'm looking for is not there in my home. So what I'm looking for in this material world is not there. We are looking for something permanent, right? We do not want our family members to go away from us. We want to have that permanent relationship with them, our kids, our life partner. That is what we search for, something that is eternal. That is why all our fairy tales end with happily ever after, Satchit Anand. Because we are always wanting that. But that is not there in this material world. That key is not here. So if we keep looking just over here, we're going to only get frustrated. So we have to understand that that key is there. And the very fact that we have a desire means it's there somewhere. Because there is water, there is thirst. Because there is this hunger, there is food. And because there is this desire to have something eternal, it is there, but just not in this material world. And even as grihasthas, we can have access to it and we can connect to it if we follow these 5 principles. So what is the solution? The solution is to ask the right question. What question do we normally ask each day? Anybody has any suggestions? So that's Prabhuji's advanced devotee. So Prabhuji is asking the right question. Why is this happening to me? But what are the other questions we normally ask? What is our day-to-day questions like? So yeah, so that's also a good question, but I'm trying to scale down. Yeah, what should we be there for dinner today? Right? This is the struggle of all Matajis. What are we going to make, right? We ask question, what is the stock market like? What is the score of the game? We ask these questions, but nobody asks the question, who are we? What is my purpose in life? That is the right question. And that is where Srimad Bhagavatam begins. And Sukadev Goswami congratulates the devotees and says, now you have asked the right question. And now we're going to start an answer. And that's where our whole Vedic literature starts, by asking the right question. So even though we are grihasthas and we're doing so many daily activities, we should always think about the higher purpose and the right question. So I know it's difficult, but we should fight for what is right. We should have a little bit discomfort in our life, because for somebody we love, we always go out of the way. Everybody's heard this term, going out of the way, right? What does it mean? Correct. So doing more for someone, not just what's required, but doing more. For our kids, do we go out of the way for our kids? We may have a budget in mind for something. The kid says, oh, Dad, I want this particular thing. It's way above the budget, right? But we still find a way to do it, as long as it's reasonable and good for the child, because we go out of the way. Similarly, when we understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is standing in front of us, then we should also go out of the way. Why? Because problems will always come. And there is this wonderful story of Shri Gajendra Maharaj. So Gajendra Maharaj, he in his previous life was Maharaj Indradumna. So there is a story, and I'll be very brief about it, that a rishi had come to his ashrama and he was in the midst of doing his meditation. So he thought, it's okay, I don't need to get up. I don't need to do this right now. And because of that offense, he did not take it seriously, or he did not go out of the way. He had to take birth as an elephant. But being as an elephant, he realized his mistake. He was being bitten by a crocodile. And at that time, he prays to the Supreme Lord to rescue himself. And when the Supreme Lord comes, and he's seeing the Lord is coming, he did not say, Lord, wait, let this crocodile thing get over, then I'll come. Then I'll pay proper respects to you. Even with the crocodile biting his leg, Gajendra takes up the flower and offers it to Supreme Personality of Godhead. If somebody goes to a beach and stands there and says, I'm going to go inside the water when the waves stop. I don't like the waves. Is he ever going to be able to enjoy the beach? No, because the waves are never going to stop. Problems in this world are going to keep coming, one after another. Some younger colleagues ask me for parenting advice, and I tell them, parenting is like a game of chess. You play one move, and you think, and then another move comes from the other side. So you start dealing with another problem. So these problems are going to be there in our household grihastha life. The question is, will we stop fighting, or will we continue fighting for Krishna? Continue fighting, continue taking that time out in whatever way possible. So just like what's really important, what drives people, so I've always been a sports person most of my life. So what really drives people, especially in sports, is a pep talk, something that motivates you in beginning of a game, something that inspires you, right? So one of the things I found nice, it says, it will hurt, it will take time, it will require dedication and willpower. It requires sacrifice, there will be temptation, but I promise you, when you reach your goal, it's worth it. And that pep talk was recorded for all of us by our dear His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. He used to wake up at 1:30 a.m. Just imagine how important this must be for a gentleman in his 70s to wake up that morning every day without fail to record something that's going to inspire generations to come. So this is the pep talk that we need if we want to advance in our grihast life. We need this pep talk not once a month, not once a year on Janmashtami, but we need this pep talk at least once a day. So we need to take time out to pay attention to the second S, that is Shravanam, or hearing, which can also be interpreted as reading. So we have to take course of the Shastras to get this inspiration daily so that we can, despite our struggles in household life, we can continue to aspire and achieve the higher goal of Krishna consciousness. So when Parikshit Maharaj asked this question to Sri Sukdev Goswami, he responds about what is the prime duty of humans. Please repeat after me. Tasman Bharatah Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyasechata bhayam. O descendant of King Bharat, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. So who wants to be free from all miseries? Right? That's why I think we have insurance, right? So this is the spiritual insurance. By hearing about, glorifying, and remembering the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, we can be free from all miseries. Okay? So the point of Shravanam or hearing is hear regularly, hear attentively, hear whenever possible. My drive to work is 35 minutes one way. And I'm hearing Srila Prabhupada speak or any senior Vaishnava speak during that time. So whenever you can take time out, while doing household chores, while doing laundry, while cooking, you have something going on, so you continuously get this pep talk and hear from the right source. Okay. So our greatest enemy, Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, is lust or kam, right? Kama esha, krodha esha, rajo guna samudbhava, mahashano mahapapma, the great all-devouring enemy. And where does lust reside? So senses, mind and intelligence. So how do we conquer? Why is this important? Because as grihasthas, we are subjected to so many desires and wants because we come into contact with so many people. So we have to understand that this great enemy that takes us away from Krishna consciousness, that is the reason why we say, no, I can't come to temple. No, I don't want to have time to read because of our mind being distracted from it. So how do we attack the enemy? When we know where it is. When it is in our senses, we engage the senses in service. It is in our mind, we engage the mind in chanting the holy names of the Lord. And it is in our intelligence, and we attack the enemy by engaging in hearing and reading. Okay. So next S is sadhana. So sadhana means japa. So japa is the process of chanting the holy names of the Lord. So it is very, very important that we practice this daily in our grihastha ashram. So we sharpen our pencil in the morning. So suppose it is best that we do this practice of meditation early in the morning before we go for our jobs or material duties. Because anytime you go for some activity, you must always go prepared for it. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Manani, Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar Ki Jai. Because whenever we go out to play a sport, okay, suppose, I don't know if most people are familiar with cricket, right? So if you go to play cricket, you always pad up, wear gloves, wear helmet, and then you go onto the pitch. Right? Same for baseball, you want to have a helmet on and gloves on. Why? Because when you have this on, you can play fearlessly. You're not scared that your head's going to break because of a bad bouncer. So similarly, when you go into this material world, as grihastha, when you go into your job, you should make sure that your spiritual consciousness is well protected, and that is by finishing your sadhana first thing in the morning. And the mantra that's advised for this age is the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Next S that we can follow in our spiritual life. So far we've talked about Sangha. We've talked about Shravanam or hearing daily despite our day-to-day activities. We talked about doing sadhana, our practice of meditation. And the next S is in part of sadhana, is doing arati. How many people here dance once a week? Raise your hands. So very few people. Okay. So that's the thing, right? Most people, we forget to dance. It's said that when your heart is happy and joyful, you automatically want to dance. So as a family bonding exercise, we should all come together at least once a day, if not twice, in front of our deities at home, come together as a family and engage in the process of arati or glorification of the Lord. Because it is said that families that pray together, stay together. And families that dance together, they advance together in spiritual life. Yeah. The next thing we can do as part of sadhana is we all need to eat. So instead of just picking up something and eating on its own, we should give due credit to where it's coming from. And it's coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we take the food, we prepare it with love, and we offer it to our deities at home. And is all vegetarian food free from karma? No. So even vegetarian food where you have to devour plants, they're not free. But if you offer it as bhoga to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you can get karma-free food by the mercy of the Lord. And as devotees, oftentimes we're excited, enthusiastic about prasadam, but we should always remember that prasadam is mercy. Mercy is something, my Guru Maharaj says, it's something that you get which you don't deserve. So when you get mercy, when you get prasad, you should respect it and you should honor it because it's coming from the lotus lips of Shri Shri Radha Madhav. Instead of wanting to devour the prasad and have the perspective of Ravan, we should learn to honor it. And the last thing in terms of sadhana is we do fasting, we take vows, we try to keep minimal possessions, and if possible, we make a sadhana chart like this. So this helps to keep ourselves accountable. If we keep a chart of what we're doing, we'll soon realize at the end of the month, I'm actually thinking in my head I'm doing something, but the reality is something else only. When we look at a graph, and that's how most healthy organizations, they measure their success, is by plotting things over time. And that is what a sadhana chart does. So as grihasthas who are so occupied in our day-to-day activities, we should try to for that. The other part of S is sweet relationships. You have to understand when we come together as husband and wife in a family, we are coming together in the mood of service, not in the mood of exploitation. That you are my wife or you are my husband, you have to do this for me. Right? Oftentimes in arguments we'll hear, we've been together for 10 years, what have you done for me? Right? But we should ask, what have we done for the other person? Right? And we understand that male and female psyches are different. Right? So Prabhujis have to be little considerate with Matajis. You have to give a lot of love, tender, show a lot of care and compassion. And Matajis, you have to be a lot of forgiving. Prabhujis mean well, but sometimes it doesn't come out the right way. So we have to understand in that particular way, we don't come into a relationship for benefit or exploitation, but to serve each other. And we try to maintain this relationship with our life partner and children. And there are 4 types of relationships that as devotees or grihasthas we should pay attention to. First is prem or love. That relationship of love we attach not with our immediate family always. We attach that prem should be, center of attraction should be Radha Madhav. Okay. Second degree of relationship we should have is maitri, of friendship, very close, again a loving dealing with fellow devotees, somebody who you can trust, somebody who you can look up for mentorship, somebody who you can look for guidance. You know somebody is not going to cheat you. The third kind of relationship you meet people is with kripa. So somebody who's wanting to learn, somebody who himself is lost, who doesn't know the right way, and who is genuinely seeking for an answer. So you be merciful to them, somebody who's ignorant. And then there are always the 4th class of people who, are offenders, they're mean to you, they're just unnecessary negative criticism. For them, it's upeksha. You just have to ignore and keep moving. So in our day-to-day activities, we should remember that these are the 4 kind of relationships we should generally harbor. And when we go for work as a job, we should remember that we are leaving the safe confines of our spiritual environment of our home and going into a place where people are going to talk about a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of competitive mentality at job, and there's going to be a lot of different foods. So we should pray to Krishna when we are leaving in the morning, that Krishna, just like when the Gopas were going into the mouth of Aghasur, they knew that something could be wrong, but they still wanted to go into Aghasur's mouth to take a look at this cave which was never there before, this new fancy cave in Vrindavan. So they turn back to Krishna and they say, Krishna, will you protect us? Krishna said, I'm there, go. So similarly, when we are going into the mouth of Aghasur, you can imagine your boss or your office, right? You turn around to Krishna and say, Krishna, I have to go, but you please protect me. So that way, Krishna will protect you. Try to avoid bad association at work. This is called Gramya Katha. Try to eat prasadam and try to remember Krishna even at work. The last S is seva, which is, you can see in terms of charity. So different types of charity are there, but it is very, very important. Why is it important to do charity? It is because of purification of heart. When we give something, then our heart generally becomes soft. Because we may get seed of bhakti by coming here, by associating with devotees. But if you put a seed in a land that is very hard, nothing's going to grow there. But if the land is soft, well moistened, then the seed of bhakti is going to grow in that heart. And that comes for giving charity. We need to do purification of karma. Even though we are devotees, one devotee actually gave me this example, that even though we are devotees and doing all these things, the money that I'm earning from my job and my patients, I don't know where that money is coming from. I don't know what kind of karma has been associated with that money. So by taking that, I'm also taking a share of that karma. But when I'm giving back in charity, that money's karma is getting neutralized and purified. That is why it is important that we do some charity. And the last thing is because it is pleasing to Krishna and Guru. Now the question is how much charity? There are different formulas, okay? But what I would recommend is you pick one formula, pick one number, and you stick to it, okay? Now in the olden days, this was a joke, but in olden days, people used to decide how much money to give to the local temple as charity, is they used to make a line, and they used to take all their income and throw in the air. And whatever falls on one side of the line, they used to pick up, give to temple. Whatever falls on the other side of the line, they used to keep for themselves. After some time, somebody had a bright idea and said, no circle business, no line business, we'll make a circle. Whatever fall inside the circle, mine, outside the circle, God. So again, throw in the air, inside circle, mine, outside circle, God. After some time, the circle started getting bigger. And then we'll make bigger circle. Finally, one new fellow came and he said, no, this line or circle business, what we're going to do is keep it simple, okay? We're going to take all the money in our hand, we're going to throw in the air and tell God, how much you can catch is yours, whatever falls on the ground is mine. So that is the status of charity nowadays. That people have, again, we are grihasthas, we have so many needs and wants, but because of these important reasons, it is very, very important we set a certain percentage aside from our quota to give for charity. Okay? Whatever number it is, pick it in your mind and try to stick to it. You can volunteer time and intelligence. And the last thing I want to say, this is the last 5 minutes of the talk and we'll conclude, is Go Seva. As part of a grihastha ashram, we have the responsibility to support the brahmacharis, the people in the sannyas ashram, because they don't have means of income. But when we have means of income, when Krishna is giving to us, we should become the instrument and try to serve them. In another example of serving another living entity is cows. So why are cows important? Anybody can say? Krishna loves cows. You see, Krishna's name is Gopal and Govinda, the protector of cows and the person who gives pleasure to the cows. His friends' names are not just his name. He's kept his friends' names also after cows, Gopas and Gopis. And not just friends, his place also he wants to name after cows. He calls it Goloka, Vrindavan. So everything is with go. That's how much Krishna loves cows. And cows are important because they provide us milk. Milk is important because it nourishes our brain to understand higher spiritual concepts. Srila Prabhupada used to call milk as religious, liquid religiosity is what milk is. Cows are important because they are vulnerable. We need to protect them. Our mothers, give us milk for maybe 1 to 2 years as we are growing, but the cow gives us milk for our entire life. So it is important that we show some gratitude and respect to them. As grihasthas, as earning people, as householders who are earning, we should try to help for them. So easiest way to please Krishna is to please his devotees. There is the story of Indra, how Indra after Govardhan Puja approaches Mother Surabhi and Krishna forgives him for that. But this is the last story, and I'm going to end after this, is the story of Kanchipurna. How many people know about Kanchipuram? No, sure. So I'll tell you, there is a deity there in Kanchipuram. Anybody knows the deity's name? Lord Varadaraj. So it's a very special deity. Lord Varadaraj deity came up from a sacrificial fire. So it was very hot. So this particular devotee, who is a disciple of Yamunacharya, Shri Kanchipurna, he was given the special service of Lord Varadaraj to fan him every day. How many people would want that service? So I didn't see many hands, but I'll tell you what happens. He starts fanning him every day, and because Lord Varadaraj is feeling so hot, Lord Varadaraj is very pleased with his service, and he starts talking to him. He starts literally having conversations with the deities, and the whole town gets a whiff of it. Everybody knows that this special devotee, Lord Varadaraj, is talking to him. So people start asking him for favors. People start asking him for questions. So one day, one Brahmana approaches Kanchipurna when he's going to the temple and says, can you please ask on my behalf whether I'm going to go back home, back to Godhead at this end of this life. So Kanchipurna goes, and that day during his service, he's having a chat with Lord Varadaraj. Just imagine coming here and having a chat with Radha Madhav. So he talks to him and he says, this devotee asked whether he go back home, back to Godhead, and Lord Varadaraj said, yes, that devotee is very sincere. He's going to go back home, back to Godhead. So Kanchipurna is very happy, and he tells that devotee. Next day, Kanchipurna thinks, I'm asking for so many people. Chalo, let me ask for myself also once. So he asked Lord Varadaraj the next day, Lord Varadaraj, I'm serving you so much, but just want to confirm for my surety that will I go back home, back to Godhead at the end of this life? Lord Varadaraj says, no, you will not. And he's shocked. His charmer is falling from his hand. He says, what, Lord? I'm serving you every day. Lord Varadaraj said, you serve me directly, but that devotee, he is the devotee of my devotee. And that is the reason why he will go back home, back to Godhead. Kanchi Punna says, here is your charmer. Okay. I'm resigning from my post. I'm also going to go and become a devotee of a devotee. Now he goes in the whole town, he's very famous. Okay. This is a very famous Brahmana. So anybody he goes and says, Prabhuji, let me be your servant. And the person says, Hey Baba, you are direct associate of Lord Varadaraj. No, I can't take any service from you. Nobody is willing to give any service to this Kanchi Purna. And he's like, I'm stuck here now forever. But he says, no, I have to do something about it. See, where there is a will, there is a way. So he gives up his saffron clothes, just takes up some regular clothes, and he approaches one of his god brother who doesn't recognize him, and the god brother has a goshala. And he starts serving the cows over there. And for 6 months, he starts serving the cows. At the end of 6 months, again, there's different versions, but from what I heard from a devotee was, Lord Varadaraj comes in his dreams and says, Kanchi Purna, now I am pleased with your service. Because you have served the cows who are so dear to me, you will come back home, back to Godhead. Now you leave the cows, come back and take up the charmer service. I'm feeling hot. So in that particular way, we see how, as grihastas, cow protection and cow service is so important. So I've just borrowed it from our website just to emphasize the fact. I call it go time. Right? We heard go lok, go vinda, go pal. Now it's go time. We're almost at the end of our contributions to start this eco project that we have, where we're going to take care of cows. So as grihastas, if possible, please give your time to this project. Please give your, if possible, Lakshmi in whatever way, your intelligence, so that we can do for the cows what the cow has done for us all our life. This is the last slide. Take home points would be, so first thing as grihastas is push yourself. Get out of the comfort zone. Fight for what is right to seek sadhu sangha. Try to attend the regular Sunday programs, regular Bhakti Vriksh, take the association of devotees. Come join our V formation, so together we can all fly back home, back to Godhead. Second is hearing regularly for purification, to keep yourself motivated. Try to hear once a day, if not possible once a week. I won't say less than that, but at least once a week, if you come to the temple, you will hear, and you'll keep motivated to keep struggling for Krishna. Try to chant and be happy. Chant regularly. This is your personal relationship with Krishna. This is a personal connection with him. Don't give this up. And try to chant before you go to work, and try to engage your whole family in arti, in offering bhoga, in chanting. And try to develop nice relationships with devotees and people around you. And for worldly people, we deal with them as needed. And try to do some seva, because seva is what pleases Krishna, and that is what brings purification. Okay. Right. With this, I'll end. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Vancha Kalpaturvascha Kapa Sindhubhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Any one question? Otherwise, I'll be here available later if somebody has.
Anyone has any questions? Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. No one has questions. Prabhuji, thank you so much. It's a wonderful class, Prabhuji. I want to know, Prabhu, like in this material world, lot of people, as you mentioned, want to stay in the toilet. They don't want to come out, even though they know. And then if you try to talk about, try to tell about, come to temple, they try to find different way out to remain in the toilet. So in this situation, even though they know this is not the right place, as you mentioned in one of the example, what are the things we can do from our end to motivate them?
Sure, Prabhu. So some things that are very, very powerful, and it's a very nice question, Prabhu, thank you, because we'll see oftentimes we meet family members who may obstruct our path or may object to our getting involved in bhakti. And even though they may agree in somewhat fashion, they may say, oh, this is too much. You know, for those people, Prabhu, what is most important to understand, one thing is, Srila Prabhupada used to say, is it is easy to wake up a person who's sleeping, but you can never wake up a person who's pretending to sleep. Because that person is already half awake, and he'll pretend to sleep, so it's very difficult to wake him up. But what we can do for such people is this, Srila Prabhupada has given the power of prasad, so we can offer prasad to them, we can offer prayer to them. Prayers are very powerful, and especially prayers not for yourself, but if you pray for somebody else, that is very powerful. That is why when we meet devotees, we always say, Prabhu, please pray for me. Because when you pray for me, that is selfless. There is no benefit that you're going to get out of that. And the last thing, Prabhu, I would say is book distribution. In some way or the other, if we can distribute books to them, sometime in life, they'll pick it up. Guru Maharaj says that if somebody even once holds Srila Prabhupada's book in the hand, that is the beginning of the end of the material life. It is now destined that the material life is going to end. So in this particular ways, we can engage them indirectly in Krishna's service. But we should not disturb them too much. Thank you, Prabhu Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Very quick question. I don't need mic, I guess. Probably you can hear
Yep.
it from here. You mentioned about the pep talk. Prabhupada, he recorded at 1 a.m. Where would I be able to find that?
No, Prabhu, I'm just saying, I'm comparing Prabhupada's talks to a pep talk. Like when you know you want to do something in a game, right? But there's lots of places. Are you asking where to get Prabhupada's talks?
Right.
Yeah, so there's multiple resources I can share with you. Okay.
You said we gotta find somewhere, which is more accurate, I guess, right?
Yeah, I can share with you, Prabhu, some resources where you can get accurate lectures and all.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. One last point I'll actually say, and this is something I learned for devotees, is that when we listen to the kathas, there is no situation that we will go in life that somebody in Srimad Bhagavatam has not already gone through. So when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we get inspiration because they've already been through those situations and they've demonstrated what a pure devotee should do, what we may have to go through in this life. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu, for the question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I think it was justification that we waited 6 months for this wonderful lecture. And in fact, to all of us, we always have so many different things. But so I asked Prabhuji, speak about something. And Prabhuji came up with such a phenomenal lecture and such practical points. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful lecture. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. So now we'll have prasadam downstairs. Please take your prasadam. Thank you all for coming. Hare Krishna.